So, we're here for our second official podcast. Hooray!
Woo!
The
Yippee!
pilot has been a success of sorts.
Of sorts.
Of sorts, yeah. Always still a relatively small group here. So with me is sli-fx and Palindrome, and we hope to get Praise back in here, but he has not come back online after a unsuspicious reboot, so that's not a good sign.
He's Australian, so.
He's Australian, yeah. Australian reboots are a bit slower. So try to find the on and off button again. Like, oh, where the hell was that button again? Goddamn dingo ran away with it.
Their toilets.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. The toilets go backwards when you flush them, so it takes a little bit longer.
Man. So let me actually quickly run by today's race results for both the Amateur League and the Pro League. The Amateur League had no incidents to report apart from a few disconnections. And Trove GP has won his third Grand Prix in a row now, so he's climbing up the ranks. So
what a stud.
What a stud, yeah, he's climbing up pretty quickly now. So ever since he
great.
joined, he's still only in 6th place in the standings, so he has a long way to catch up to D-Berg, who's still running in first position thanks to all the points Praise got for him in the beginning. Pretty much.
Yep.
So second in that race was Romain, who was also second in the standings, and Revan is in third, who was also third in the standings, and then Andre, Reiter, and Neodata, who is replacing the still absent Eric F1, who should be around back from vacation by now, I would think. And then D-Berg, Naskil, and then Demos, Neuer 31, and Arthur Casali are 3 disconnection drivers who can have a little sprint race to divide the last few points among them, if they would
That's a great idea.
choose to do so.
I love that sprint race idea. I think it's a good way to do it.
It's a good way to do it. Yeah, well, like in our race we had one disconnection by the name of Glutus, but yeah, since we had 10-point finishes.
Yeah. Anyone know what happened with him?
Yeah, he told me his Steam got kicked off, so.
Oh.
Which happens to me every once in a while too. Works right for weeks and then suddenly gets kicked off again. So.
It was funny. It actually did it to me while we were in the game lobby waiting for everyone to join in.
Yeah.
It crashed on me. Luckily, it was at the right time.
Yeah, Steam has shown some instability issues as of late. Also some weirdness with a mate. It was yesterday. We were watching a movie. Had no problem shedding in. We included a third person in there, and suddenly me and him couldn't hear each other anymore. We could hear the third person just fine. So that was.
Oh wow.
That was a bit odd. The voice calm over there. Steam still.
I would like to know what server locations. Right. Oh, a million times. But I'd still like to know which server locations are like the most stable. You know, you can switch your server to somewhere else.
Yeah, just saying you live somewhere else now.
Okay. What I didn't realize is for the first 2 races of our season, I was connected to the London, UK server, and I'm in the US. So I was kind of playing with fire a little bit, you know, thinking it might disconnect being overseas and whatnot.
I don't think it happened to you yet. Disconnections during a race.
No.
If I'm not mistaken.
Knock on wood.
So.
No.
And there we go. So basically, yeah, those were the top 8 for the Amateur League guys. And as to go quickly look at the standings real quick, it's D-Berg still in first with 118 points. Romain with 112, so he's very close to the first place. Revan is in third with 106, then Reiter with 105, so a lot of guys are very close to each other, which is good fun. Andre has 96 points, and then Trove GP rising really quickly with 3 wins in a row, has 83 points in 6th position. And then there are a lot of people below that as well. So that is the amateur race. And yeah, we had some good fun as well. Another little crazy little start.
How about that? How about that 100% rain, as they say?
Yeah, which like lasted for 2% of the actual race time or something. Like I just had my car set up too much to expecting rain to last for a long time, which of course it didn't. So I suffered a lot in the opening stages.
definitely.
In terms of traction and everything, in terms of handling, so yeah. Would have been maybe a bit higher up, but I had a good fun race near the end of it. But so, for the results, they are still the unofficial results, as we're currently looking into some mishaps or some aggressive driving by Discovery.tv, who's had been assigned to a permanent spot. So Amin has gotten his second victory. There's 2 victories for him in a row. Price is back on the podium in second. Then it's Isofab. My Mr. Palindrome here is in fourth. Rain fifth. Discovery TV is still. TV is still in sixth. Myself was able to crawl back to seventh. Kevin Porro. Then also a new driver. My new teammate Osborne in ninth, and then Sly in 10th position, and then Gludus Maximus, who got disconnected.
Get in.
Gets in the Drivers' Championship is actually looking very interesting at the moment. Price is still in first with 88 points. Then it's Amin with 83 points. So those two will have a nice battle, I think. Below that, you actually jumped a spot, like I told you earlier. You went 1 position higher. You're now in third place.
That's crazy.
Into some consistent point scoring. You have 60 points,
yeah.
Only 2 points above Rain in fourth, who has 58. Ludus Maximus didn't score anything today, so he dropped probably 2 places. And he's now back in 5th position with 52 points. I'm still sort of clinging on to 6th place, and then it's Sly. The guy here is in 9th with 16 points. There we go.
Very nice.
But yeah, it was messy first corner again in the wet. Some lag hits on Mr. Palindrome.
Yeah.
He got the
Nothing
worst of it, I
you can do
think.
about those, though.
Yeah. I looked at it from my screen real quick, and yeah, nobody seemed to have hit you on that corner.
Right. I know. And when you get that many cars bunched up together, the server is like WTF.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
It happens. So you want to chat a little bit about Discovery's actions in the race there?
Yeah, that was interesting. Nah, he I mean, I don't know him, but he had a couple of aggressive moves. I've uploaded one of the incidents to YouTube so far. Gonna work on the second one here after this podcast, but basically just over aggressive driving. You know, that little back straightaway. I don't know what turn that is, but you know, up until the tight left-hander, and then you go up over the little crest into the right-hander.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The first incident was there on the 4th lap with you and me and him. Basically, you and I were in front, and we kind of fishtailed because it was wet, and then he kind of came in behind us and tried to pass into a disappearing wedge on the left side of me, so I had to kind of slam on the brakes, and he still hit me on the side and punted me into the dirt. So nothing crazy, but then what was it, lap 26, he was just behind me. You know, it was after the 3rd turn, the long sweeping righter going into the next turn, the other sweeping righter.
Yeah.
It's funny, right before that, during the first sweeping right, I called it. I'm like, watch, he's gonna hit me off here. He was right on my butt. And then I brake I tried to actually brake a little late too, just because I was worried about that. So go into the next righter and boom, right off and right into the dirt again. I'm like, great. And then he just kept going. That was the only thing, you know. I think if he would have let me by again, it would have been okay. But
like I did, and I wasn't even sure I hit you or did anything.
But
I think they didn't hit you, but I just let you by. Like I think I pushed you wide on that corner because I went in too deep. I'm like, alright.
Well, that's the thing too. On your screen, it didn't show that you hit me.
No.
So for all I know, on his screen too, you know, he probably just thought I just went off. You know, for all I know. I mean, I'm not sure if he recorded or not, but that's probably what it looked like on his end too. Who knows? It's hard to tell.
Yeah, the little incident I had with you a little bit later on with think it was already dry by that point. I'm not sure. But yeah, I came out like from
yeah,
behind
I don't
with
remember what lap
DRS,
that
I
was
think.
yet.
And sort of I brake myself, and then of course you were on my outside, had
Oh,
to
yeah.
go on off the track. Because I
Yeah,
couldn't,
cut
I could
inside.
barely keep it in the track, so you went off and like, oh, this is quite a clean overtake, let's just let you back behind. Before I have to
That
give
was
myself
funny.
a penalty
Yeah.
for an unfair overtake.
That's okay. Well, you'll see in the video too. I mean, you know, I think it was just a lag hit. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah, I was actually in the first part of the race, especially on those options, I was struggling for some reason. I guess it was the change in the setup that didn't quite work on the dry tires, especially on the heavy car. I mean, I had a bit of twitchiness in that chicane where I had a lot of mishaps, like only half spins and everything. I think I had like 3 or 4 in total there in that particular area. So I went further back and further back, and finally when I got on the primes, made some few mistakes, but finally got into a groove and just slowly catched Kevin Porot. Slowly, closer, and like I think I'm around lap 45, 47. I actually started battling with him, which was a really great fight. And then he went in for tires one lap before me. I made a little mistake. I was in front of him by that point, by the pit stop, or my in lap. Made a little mistake. So he was back out in front of me again when I got out of my pit stop, so I had to fight him again.
Wow. Yeah, I saw that. I kind of saw that battle going on the screen.
So that was good fun, and then yeah, what sort of pretty much ended the battle is when we ran into Sly and Osborne in the last couple of laps, and I think Osborne held him up a little bit, not intentionally, but I was able to get on his inside on that little after that long right-hander after the second corner. Before you go into the bridge, that's where I got him. Had to fight him off for like one lap, and then he made a mistake in that same corner a lap later, I think, or maybe 2 laps later. And I was basically taking Osborne on the toe for the rest of the race, making sure he kept in front of Sly. Because he was in my DRS for all the time, and I was actually still sort of pushing the car at that point as well, because I wasn't.
Did you use a back marker as like an obstacle to get around?
No. I think Kevin Porro ran into Osborne. Sly led us by before the straight, and he ran into Osborne probably going on to the right-hander up the hill, the long one. So that's probably had to lift off, and I immediately dived on the inside of him, taking advantage of his slower car. So I know Osborne. I wasn't in chat with him anyway, so.
Yeah. Oh, I had a very interesting battle with Rain at the end there. I was, what was I in? I think I was in 6th. And then all of a sudden I saw Discovery had intermediates on in the dry weather. So I kind of chuckled and just said karma, you know.
Yeah.
It's karma for you. And then I come up on Rain, and I'm like, oh, he must have pushed his tires too far and had a puncture. That or he's missing his wing, and then as soon as I passed him, I saw he had a flat. So went by him, and I probably had another lap or 2 in my primes left. But I was thinking to myself, okay, he's gonna pull into the pit right now. I bet you if I keep out on these worn tires, I'll probably drop a couple seconds a lap just because they're so worn out. Yeah. I could have pushed him a little bit more. So my thinking was, okay, there's 18 laps left. I'm going to go in the pit with him. I'm ahead of him by like, you know, probably 4 seconds or something. So we go into the pit, and then we obviously both get out of the pit, and I put primes back on too with 18 laps left, and he put on options.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, he put on options. That's a big mistake. Because personally, I can't make him last 18 laps, at least not very, I mean, toward the end they'll be dead.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I got him. I just got to keep him out of DRS range. So we were battling the whole last 18 laps where he was just barely out of DRS range, and then on lap 60 of 66, my KERS fails, and I am freaking out, and I have about two extra laps of fuel, so. For each straightaway, I just put it in high mix just to try to compensate a little bit on the straightaway for the loss of KERS. And finally, on lap 64, it comes back, and by that time, his tires were totally shot, I think. And I kind of got like another 5-second gap.
Yeah.
You know, it got down to a second at one point. So that was really exciting. I'm gonna upload that, and it was a cool little battle.
Good fun. Should be fun to
Yeah.
watch your race then. Yeah, actually, like, did actually watch in terms of fuel mix. What you mentioned is like always put it on high on the straights, and actually saw that you do that in China. And
Yeah.
I tried that. I think it was
Worked
one
out
the
well
previous
there.
way, and I used it actually in Spain as well. There's like high mix
Yeah.
on the straight in the first sector basically. Then the rest standard.
Exactly.
And that worked really well for me actually.
Yeah, it works pretty well, doesn't it? Yeah. I came across that when I was on China, because I was doing a couple high mix laps, and I noticed it was going down very slowly. So I'm like, I bet you I can high mix that last straight the whole time and be fine. And yeah, I had plenty of gas left, especially when it rained on that track. But what fuel level did you use for the race today?
I just always use it to keep it on cautious. Doesn't seem to matter that much.
Well, once I saw that 100% race, I was thinking,
100%
yeah, I might not want to use
100%
cautious.
chance of rain, because it's not actually. It's not saying that it's going to rain for the whole race. It's just saying, alright, it's going to rain, but not for how long or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's 100% chance of rain, just not during the whole race. See, I took it as the other way around, though. I was expecting it the whole time. I'm like, I actually said something during the race. I'm like, damn it, Codemasters. I'm like, you should never have 100%. You know, just leave it at 99% or something. Never say you're 100% sure.
Yeah, you misread the screen then. So that's like only a chance of rain.
I did.
But like it's like I think it's like the third or maybe the second or third race where we had a short shower at the beginning of a race. Like it rained very briefly, even though like it looks like complete shit on the radar, like 100%. Oh, this is gonna be bad, heavy rain. It turned out to be intermediate weather. And like, all right. And then again, after like a couple of laps, it already starts drying out again.
Oh, he's back again.
Price
Disconnected.
Back
Now, Palindrome disconnected.
Alright.
Ooh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
My chat dropped out, sorry.
Yeah. It can happen.
Lost internet connection for a second there, sorry about that.
Because yeah, but after this earlier struggles that I had in the race, I was already gearing up for like, alright, this is gonna need another boring race, but then I finally got into the groove in the primes, and I saw I was finally catching Kev on Poro, and I'm like, alright, this is gonna be good fun, if I can catch him.
Yeah.
I had to restart my catching up game a bit twice or something, because I made a mistake, like dropped back 2 seconds again that I earned, like, oh, fuck.
Right,
hard work.
Exactly, one little mistake and you lost up all that hard work. Yeah.
I was catching in sort of consistently with about a couple of tenths each lap. So like after 10 laps I gained like 2 seconds or something on, then like made a mistake. Like shit, tore up 2 seconds again, starting again. Damn it.
Exactly, that's the worst. That's why I try not to run any tires like to the end of their life, because I notice you lose so much time, doing those little fishtails at the end of the tire life, that I just like to pit a little bit early and keep them fresh, keep them consistent laps.
What I wonder about you guys is how fast did your front left go? Because for me it took insanely more wear than any other tire on me. If it wasn't for that front left, the other tires were actually relatively fine.
Oh yeah, you could do a 2-stop race if the left front didn't wear out so quickly.
Yeah. You got some really hard, like high-speed turns where probably the left tire gets pummeled like mad.
Yep. No matter what, it gets pummeled too, because I tried probably 10 different setups to try to keep that left front alive, and it with heavy fuel it does not stay alive. Once the fuel comes off, it doesn't die as quickly. Yeah, but it's still quicker than the other three.
Yeah.
And you're only as strong as your weakest link, so.
Basically, yeah, you need all 4 of them to go around with speed. So Sly, you've been very quiet for a bit now.
One bad tire.
What happened with you?
Yes, mate, I'm just doing a couple of things. What happened to me?
During the race
penalty at the start.
Because you were
penalty at the start, mate.
Again,
I was in 5th. Yeah, Toro Rosso. Always happens to me in that car.
So basically a piss poor race for Sly again.
Yeah. Poor
Yeah.
car. 2 penalties. I got another penalty, didn't I, for blue flags, which
Oh,
wasn't
really?
my fault. Yeah, I was. Priest was behind me, and I was just about to let him past, but he lost it at the corner that he was going to let come up behind me. So he's lost it, and I've gone out in front another 5-6 seconds, and it's still showing blue flags, but there's no car behind me. You know, because he lost it at the corner. So
Right,
as I
right.
was waiting round the corner for him to hurry up and overtake me, I got a penalty. So
Oh,
I wonder how the game
that was
handles those
another
blue flags
setback.
then. Like, so you almost make it think like it does it sector by sector or something.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Just
think
plays
it's just
blue
the
flags
just
for an
free.
entire sector, regardless of what happens actually after you pass a sector.
I think it's every time there's a marshal's post. Every time there's a marshal's post, if you cross three marshal posts that are waving
Right.
blue flags, then you can get a penalty.
Yeah. So I guess the rule of thumb with Codemasters coding is just let them by as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Just like in single player, like when you're playing against the AI, dude, they just fucking dart off the track. Some of them will just turn right into a sand trap just to let you by.
Fucking crazy what they do. So, yeah, that's about it for the races, I think. Next week we have our very interesting race coming up. The Grand Prix of Grand Prix, probably.
Yep.
The Street Circuit of Monaco.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
I'm looking forward to it, but I'm
killer.
also very scared of those first couple of laps.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's the person that's gonna win is the person who keeps their original wing.
Yeah. Like just do the laps. I mean, overtaking is going to be hard as shit anyway. I mean, I think with the hit lag, it's going to make it even more difficult to do it cleanly and everything. So, and there is a DRS zone like on the main straight, but it's so short that it never wins you anything.
Exactly. I know. It just doesn't matter. You can't come out of that turn quick enough to really make a difference.
Yeah. Like, yeah, the only thing you can do is like if there's someone in front of you, you know you're faster than him, and if he pits one lap, just make a stonker of a lap and try to do it like that. Otherwise, there's not much you can do unless you make some mistake somewhere.
Yeah. It's gonna come down to tires and strategy too, and minimizing mistakes.
Yeah, I think you're just gonna have some decent amount of pit stops, since like you only have the weakest tires, the super softs and the option.
Oh yeah.
And the softs, and they don't last very long.
They only last like
10
8 laps or something stupid like
10
that.
laps
Yeah.
if they're clean. Of course, on heavy fuel, it's gonna be a bit shorter than that.
Yeah.
So
see, what do you guys have your what do you guys like to use for transmission settings at Monaco? Do you start like with a higher first gear and step down towards 7, or do you climb up towards 7?
I have no idea. I don't have any kind of setup yet for Monaco.
Okay.
But I reckon I might want to have a slightly higher first gear, since that would probably help me avoid spinning out a bit.
I think I have mine set up to 114 miles per hour, and I have them in steps from the lowest gear, then have them in like step form to 114 miles an hour. And I tend to do alright with that.
Right.
Gearing is going to be, I think, a major effect or a major point on your car setup for that race.
Yeah, the best gearing is for the twisty turns on the second sector. As soon as you start beginning the second sector, them twisty ones, that's what you want the gears good for.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially if it starts raining, and you know, you don't want to be in such a high gear that when you put your foot down, the back wheel starts spinning out of the corners.
Yep. Just upshift into second early. That's what I do.
Yeah. It's probably the key. Just try to get out smoothly, because it's really bumpy and everything.
Yep.
So yeah, I heard the amateur guys had so much chaos the first time they went on that track. They actually had to restart the race because there was so much fucking carnage in that first corner for this lap. So pro
Wait,
guys.
did they get a red flag, or do they all just agree to restart?
I don't know. I don't know the details of it. Red flag could have been it, but.
Jeez. Awful.
So yeah, well, I think for the pro league at least, I think especially like on Bahrain was like a really proper example, and like was a really good start. I think like last week, and like I think Catalonia was well close apart from the hit, but yeah.
Yeah.
If there's like hits happen, it's usually like in the first two corners. Everybody's still bunched up.
Exactly.
Because it's really hard
I
to
know.
judge.
Yeah, I just gotta break very early.
So yeah, if you didn't spin, I would have been able to avoid all that. But you hit me anyway.
Yeah, that sucked. I know. As soon as I got spun around, I just didn't touch anything. I just, let it take me for the ride. I didn't want to like accelerate into anybody and knock them off. And two people came right across the front of my wing and hit my wing, and it didn't do any damage, but it knocked both of you off. I'm like, great, I'm gonna get a penalty now, and it didn't give me a penalty.
No, probably because you're already the other way around.
Horribly coded.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I kept clear of the first corner. I was like on the outside going in, and then I turned in safely, and I was on the outside of turn 2 again. But yeah, then you spun, and there was nowhere I could go anymore.
I was gone.
So I had to travel dirt a little bit.
Yeah.
But after that,
yeah, I'll
it went
upload the video. It's
alright.
pretty crazy.
It went alright actually for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I never even used options the whole race. I stayed primes the whole time, just because I was trying to minimize pit stops.
Yeah, I was actually like testing. I think this morning. Yeah, it was this morning with Sly, and I was like doing sort of lower fuel tests with primes and options, and there was like more than a second and a half consistent changes or this difference in lap time for me between the two tires. So
I know.
So at first I was thinking, right, could I make it with 2 additional stops, like doing all options? And that was pretty much a no, because when they were still heavy in the beginning, and the front left was going too fast, so I had to go to primes anyway. But I could make those last long enough to only have 1 more extra stop back on the options. Options again.
If the options lasted a few more laps, I think a little bit longer, then it would be good. During my testing, I found it's about a second and a half faster. Yeah. But they just did not, like, I could only get them to last like 13 healthy laps. Once they get to 14 or 15, I mean, they were still alive, but there's the chance of spinning was a lot greater.
Basically, in the first stint on the options, I couldn't pull any advantage because I was making so many mistakes because I was struggling in that final sector so much. That was a shame.
Right. And it's all related to fuel load too. I mean, I've noticed the delta between the tires early on is not very much, and then so that's why usually I'll go like prime option, or just because once that fuel comes off, you want to be on your options, then you're really fast. Yeah. It's probably only half a second, with a heavy fuel.
Well, during testing, I couldn't really drive the primes anywhere near as fast as I could in the race, so I figured, right, I want to avoid these tires as much as I can, because it should be worse on heavy fuel. But during race, I know I was struggling with the options a lot more. So
it was crazy though. Only a couple people had a faster lap time than me at the end, and I only used primes. Like, I was going quick at the end, but I really wish I could have been on the options on the last stint. I was trying to make them last a little bit longer, but I didn't want to risk it.
Yeah, 18 laps was right on the edge.
I'm like, I'm better just pit. Yeah. Actually, what I found was too. I mean, I did a lot of testing. I do a lot of tire testing for each week, and what I found was when I used default alignment, all the clicks, right down the center default, that the tires lasted like 2 extra laps for each set, just using default. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna sacrifice just a touch here just to make them last a little bit longer, and it was okay. It worked, I think.
All right. Good fun. So you talked to me, or made a little note on it yesterday, about brake sizes and everything.
Yeah. I was expecting more people to be in this chat, but Because I don't know if you guys know much about it or not, so it might be a kind of a moot point. Like I thought I heard Pre say something about not wanting to use large brakes anymore. So that kind of made me wonder, because I know he used to use large brakes all the time.
The difference is big, yeah. Like you got like small, medium, and large, and basically the larger ones can take more heat, but they're heavier, so your braking distance is also a bit longer. And if you have like a small brake size and you have to brake a lot, they will overheat and you will lose braking completely if they get too hot. I mean, I don't think your car will ever break down, but if your brakes get too hot, you will lose all braking power, basically.
I thought I was under the impression you have actually a greater stopping power with the large brakes, since it's a larger surface area. It has more contact patch with a bigger brake pad.
Yeah, you do have better stopping power, but it sacrifices weight, so your handling's going to be a little more heavier. Your steering's going to be a little bit more heavier as you turn in.
Pushing a little bit more.
Yeah, and the weight of your car's going to be just a little bit more than what it normally is.
Yeah.
Is it really noticeable though?
I don't know. I found a braking setup where I'm happy with the car. Which is for me, it's like medium brake, standard size, and then just 48 front, and that's basically what I do every race. Because
I do 46 front usually.
Because I know that works for me.
Because I don't like locking up my fronts.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's whatever works for you. Yeah. I mean, usually I was running medium the last couple of races. But since I saw it was going to rain, I turned it to low pressure, and that kind of screwed me in my lap times a little bit, because when it dried up and I'm slamming on the brakes and they're not stopping me, so I got to use the downshifting hard to stop me quicker, because it was not working at all. Like that low pressure on dry track is not good. It's so slow.
Yeah, well, I never really had problems with medium pressure in the rain. I just like don't fully press down on the brake throttle, and you should usually be fine. Just like half pressure, brake a bit earlier, just apply about half throttle of braking.
Just quick taps.
And not even taps, you just like just gentle. Don't slam it on. Then if you slam it on medium, it will just straight lock up, and you just go swimming in the dirt. It's like brake a bit earlier than you would, like half pressure, and then for me usually it's just fine.
Then just downshift,
Downshift like normal.
And I was just worried about. I was worried about locking up the fronts in the wet and just sliding off into the dirt. So being cautious. I'm overly cautious with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I'm
that probably screws me in the end. It's like when you play too defensive is when you get in trouble, where you got to be more aggressive and assertive, and you don't get in trouble.
Well, yeah. Well, usually when I start pushing a little bit more, I start making mistakes a lot easier. So I usually slowly find my rhythm as the race goes on, get faster and faster. Like that. But
exactly.
Then, I usually lose too much in the early stages, especially like in the rain. I was actually doing alright. I was keeping up with Discovery and keeping up with you relatively.
Yep.
In terms of pacing.
That was good. That was fun. After that, though, after us three separated, it was really boring for me. I was by myself for a very long time.
When I coming out of the pits, I was like in reasonable distance of several drivers, and I had a little fight with Poro, was close to him, and then like I said, made so many little mistakes in the early opening races where I like started off with a couple seconds behind, and by the end of all my mistakes, it was like 10 seconds behind. So I had to spend most of the race closing that gap again, which I managed to do, thank God. So I had some fun again. But yeah, after that early bit, I was like, alright, I'm setting up for regearing when I got back onto the primes for my so this first stop on the dry. Went down the primes and like alright, it's gonna be a boring stint now. Hopefully I can get until I started noticing like, alright, I'm catching him by a couple of tenths every lap. Alright, this is gonna be fun. Ooh.
And then you
fishtail
a little bit, and it's all over.
No, actually, once I got my groove, I actually had a good race, had a good clean fight with him, so no one was overly aggressive. So good honest battle.
That's good.
So, Kevin is a really good clean driver. So,
yeah, definitely.
Kudos for him for a nice battle. Like I don't even mind if I'm like a bit lower behind, as long as I have a good fight on track. That makes it all the worthwhile.
Exactly. Exactly. I'd much rather have that, at least, if you're not
Well,
up there.
if I'm behind, yeah, I would rather just have a good fight than have a boring race.
Yep.
I mean, if I were like in Melbourne, I was like way above where I am now. That was like exciting in another way because I wasn't directly fighting anybody. So I was like, well, I can go for the podium, and actually, I think I managed to get a podium there. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But after that, yeah.
What about Amin, dude?
Yeah, he's on
Amin
form.
has gotten fast. And did you see his Bahrain video?
Yeah, I did. It's like a
Dude,
freaking
have you
machine.
ever seen someone downshift so hard and brake so hard and not lock up the fronts?
No, I think he's on the controller there.
The guy stops on a dime,
Yeah.
and, with large brakes and high pressure, and does not lock up the fronts. And then you look at how, like, once he slams on the brakes, obviously you can downshift the gears quicker because it's not using the engine braking, so it's not wearing the engine. And at the end of the race, his engine had no wear on it at all. It didn't even start getting yellow or anything, starting to show wear. That's kind of crazy.
Is that one of the difference between like controller and steering wheel again? Because
Oh, does he have a controller
I
too?
think so. I'm not actually 100% sure about
I think
that.
he does.
I think he
Damn
does.
bastards and their damn controllers.
We should make a little money pot
gonna
and just
make
get them
a-
steering wheels. Everybody tries to get.
We're gonna have a steering wheel only league. It's like, come on, that's not fair.
Yeah. You think with the amount of members we have, we'd be able to set up more leagues, but like, if you've seen the amateur league, like,
Right.
we had a pretty
Well,
poor turnout today
yeah.
as well. I mean, 4 guys weren't there.
A lot of people aren't willing to, meet at the same time every day. Well, it works out great for me though, because it's at 7 in the morning on a Sunday. So what the hell am I gonna do at 7 in the morning on a Sunday?
Well, for me, like the afternoon is just fine, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if it
Wake
was in the
up, come in.
afternoon for me,
Christ, it's
it
the
might not
evening.
be as good because, yeah. Damn priest, I hate that bastard. Where did he go?
Maybe he went to sleep or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. Damn bastard.
So something else I wanted to ask you guys, and actually about the Real F1.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to all the winter testing and seeing what the cars look like and what they're doing? And
Extremely.
Yeah,
any
I
particular
can't think
team
that
you
what
guys
is.
are waiting for? You get to see what they got.
I don't. The cars aren't going to be that much different. So
Well, if I read the reports right, Mercedes should have a severely different car. I mean, said they were going to make quite a few changes. Apparently,
I hope
the
no,
so,
chassis
but they're
was
roughly
shit.
going to be the same. There's no rule changes or anything like that. So
Yeah, but Mercedes car was kind of shit
basically playing with the same
for the
chassis.
remainder of the
innit?
season. As the season
Yeah.
progressed,
But
they never got the
a lot
back
of times
tires
during
working
testing, though, too. Yeah, a lot of times during testing, too, they kind of hold the cards close to their chest. They sometimes won't really, be showing the car running flat out as much.
Oh, I don't think they ever would do that. They usually just go see if everything works,
Nah.
test the parts and everything.
They're-
I know
right,
at
they're
least
just doing their nice, easy laps. And
yeah. I know at least Williams won't be starting with a new car because it apparently isn't ready yet on the first winter test.
yeah, I
And
saw that, yeah.
the first winter test is the 5th to 8th of February in Jerez.
Here it is.
Jerez, señorita. And McLaren's still the
Jerez.
first to unveil their first car, so I wonder how that's going to look like. If they go back to the low nose again, or it's basically a similar one. Because I still think they
Yeah,
have
I
the
wonder if
sexiest
they're
car.
going to step it out this time.
It was actually kind of fresh to
probably
see
won't
like a
step
low
it
nose
out.
again, like the old days, you know. You get the high
Yeah.
nose was so freaking long.
Like you were saying before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's the February 1st, Ferrari and Force India are slated. Force India is another really weird team at the moment with VJ's plane company.
Oh, his trial?
I don't know
Yeah.
about trial, but I know with the
Well,
financial issues it's having. Or
they say he's being sued for unpaid bills or unpaid wages or something like that.
that
Can't
sort of
remember.
makes sense
Yeah.
because I
Money
heard reports of that before, like that the employees of the airline company hadn't been paid in a very long time.
Yeah, that would suck.
Which kind of
Yeah.
fun to see, because Force India has been turned into a pretty good team, you know, pretty nice team to watch.
Oh, they're solid as hell. They got a great car.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what was I gonna say? Shoot. Oh yeah, you know what? It's funny. Tomorrow, I live in Michigan, near the Detroit area, so we have the North American International Auto Show here.
Yeah.
And what's the date today? Hold on, let me see. It's the 20th here.
20th, yeah.
It opened yesterday here, and I'm going tomorrow on Monday morning to check it out. And they have Alonso's F1 car there.
Of this year. Nice.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go check that out and take some pictures and whatnot. Be kind of cool. I think they have it roped off pretty far though. You can't really get too close to it.
No shit. I think I remember something
Break off a bit of
one
carbon
moment,
fiber.
like a couple of years, like in Spa, there was like a car in the gravel, and when they opened the track, like half the car got torn apart. Everybody's taking bits of carbon fiber.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, I didn't like that very much.
That's what I would do. Probably not.
Probably would. Oh, we would be tempted, but to follow them. But I wouldn't
What
at
else
least be
is
the first guy to tear off a piece of
Um,
car. That's for sure. And alright, the other two tests are both in
Same.
Barcelona, I see. The 19th to 22th of February and 28th to March 3rd.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm really wondering if
it's-
the McLaren's going to be like a sexy looking car again, like it did this year, because I think like right.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see.
I wonder what
guess,
Mercedes is going to do with it.
yeah.
I think they're going to have probably a different rear end, since they were struggling with the rear tires.
Yep. Yeah, they said they. I read something about how they said they were changing the whole geometry of the rear suspension,
Yeah. Like a different chassis.
different pickup points, and yeah, totally.
So that's why
But
I
it's
think.
been kind of slow in F1 news recently.
Yeah. Well, everybody's trying to keep their mouth shut, not
Obviously.
letting anything leak out, probably.
Exactly.
testing comes,
it's just stupid politics is the only thing right now. Back
It's
and forth.
really weird. It's
You know,
basically the
name
winter.
calling or
You know?
yeah, it's off season.
I
that's
mean,
for
I
sure.
think the news is going to pick up like mad as soon as the testing starts at the end of the month or the beginning of February.
Yeah, or right before it. Yep.
And the last news the Dutch Formula 1 site has is that Nui is a bit afraid that the technical regulations shouldn't be too strict, because it will block creativity. Which is
Yeah.
sort
Oh,
of
I know.
a
I
valid
saw, yeah, I
point.
saw that article. Yeah. I check F1 news like multiple times a day, every day, and
Oh, that's right. Like that last news message I got is from yesterday, and nothing new since then.
yeah,
This on the Dutch side anyway. Or
Yeah.
Is it? Doubt. Yeah.
yeah. I have an Android app that pulls news from all the different F1 sources into one page,
Oh, that's
so you get
nice.
to see everything. It's kind of cool.
Formula
Yeah.
1.com is kind of poopy.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else
There you
is
go.
there.
What's with that fucking sound again? Oh yeah, De La Rosa is back as a test driver in Ferrari.
Oh, yeah, for Ferrari. That's right.
Yeah,
That's funny. Yeah, he's getting old.
he is. I think he was the second oldest after Schumi, I think, or maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's older than Schumi, maybe. No.
No,
probably
I think
not.
Schumacher was the oldest guy.
I know he looks older.
Probably the
Yeah, they say
drug use.
he's just going to be doing simulator work, though.
Yeah.
Oh, damn you and your microphone, Sly.
And yeah, there's also like I don't understand, but like it's more like also probably part of the game, all about that new Formula 1 medic. The old guy got fired for some reason, and like what the hell, he was doing a good job.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me at all. That's how that's how Formula 1 is. It's always about who knows who, and
Probably. Like everybody else seemed more pissed
Yeah.
about it than the guy who got fired himself. I'm like, alright, it is what it is.
right.
It's good fun, so to speak. But yeah.
Yeah, and they're saying too, yeah, Ferrari does not want a dream team with Vettel and Alonso, which is probably true.
Yeah, those like what's his name? Montezemolo.
Yeah,
He's
Matsumoto,
always a
yeah,
bit of an odd character, always like mouthing off.
he is. But I don't think they would ever put Alonso and Vettel together. Not at least anytime soon. Maybe when they're older. But
I don't
yeah, it
see
wouldn't
any
be
reason
good,
why
I don't think.
Vettel would go to Ferrari at any point. Well, maybe like it will reach
No.
the same at a point as Hamilton, but I don't think he's reached that way. Like Hamilton has
No.
matured, I think, quite at least in the second half of the season this year. He's been very good. And had to a lot of bad shit with the car, and like bad pit stops, bad reliability.
Yeah, he got so screwed this year.
But he always remained, at least on the camera, pretty calm about it. Like, oh, shit happens.
Yeah.
Didn't change his
Yeah,
driving
he'd
for
do
the
some
next
hand
race. He didn't.
gestures at the.
Yeah, at the race, but after that, like
Yeah.
just calmly walks away.
He got screwed a lot.
Don't take that shit to the next event. Just start out fresh again.
Yeah.
And then he
All
had
he
like a
can
great
do.
race in Austin. And then he got punted off by
Yeah, I was
Hülkenberg in
pissed.
Brazil, where he was doing pretty good as well. As was Hülkenberg.
Yeah, he lost. Yeah, he lost his rear end just for a split
Yeah.
second, and that's all it took.
Yeah, I think actually
Slammed right
Hülkenberg,
into
like
him.
if you read all the news about Force India, I think Hülkenberg actually made a smart choice by going to Sauber, because in terms of financial state, it seems a lot more stable of a
Totally.
team to go for.
Oh, hands down, yeah. I think that's why he did it. It's more of a lateral move, but in
Yeah,
the sense that Sauber is a lot more financially sound, so that has the upper hand by far.
it's got also still the backing of Mr. Slim, because they went for Gutierrez, which of course was pretty much a given as soon as he made that statement public.
Oh yeah,
If
the
I'm getting-
Telex or whatever it is.
Telmex, yeah.
Telmex, yeah.
Mr. Carl Slim. Alright,
Hey Sly, stop talking so much.
yeah. You're worrying us with your loud mouth.
It's a whap,
Yeah,
whap,
well,
whap.
there you go.
You're tired, man. Aye? Is that nice?
Yeah, I didn't get
I'm
much
rubbing
sleep
one
last
out.
night.
Shit, I only got 3 hours.
Holy fucking shit, man.
That's okay.
That's not a
The
lot of
wind
sleep.
was so strong here last night. It sounded like the house was gonna blow away.
It's still snowing over here. Yeah, let me actually look outside, see how big of a
Yeah,
pile of crap
it's here as well, mate.
Yeah, it's fucking freezing here. It's like
Yeah,
below freezing, that's for sure.
that's a lot of snow. for Holland anyway.
Yes, sir. You got anything else?
Not really like anything big actually. Like I said, it's really quiet with news. I think it will pick
Yeah,
up
it sure is.
after the testing has started, and that would be more interesting to talk about. Apart from the shit with Force India, which I don't seem to understand whether they get more money to invest in the team than the airline companies on limping legs, but
Yeah. I'm sure that's what the pilots are saying. Why do you need an F1 team when we haven't gotten our paychecks in a month?
yeah. Which is actually a complete valid statement. Why the fuck can you invest into that
Yeah.
by
Building a new
fucking over
car.
everybody else who actually works for you?
Yep.
So if that's really the case, then yeah,
Priorities.
VJ is not so cool a guy anymore in my book.
Nope. Nope.
Because you're risking your entire company and God knows how many people working for him just to keep that fucking team running.
Your whole livelihood.
Yeah. Well,
Idiot.
at least it's holding out better than HRT has been, because they never really got properly off the ground in the end.
They were idiots for building a whole new headquarters factory, you know.
Mm.
They sunk so much damn money into that new headquarters. I mean, that was dumb.
Oh well, apparently Bernie Ecclestone was pretty happy with it. Fuck those guys.
Oh yeah, he
He was
yeah he wants 10 teams. He
Yeah.
doesn't. Yeah,
Like, because this is funny though. Like, if especially with the shit about Force India, like HRT, he couldn't give a fuck about, and Force India is he's actually pumping money into him to keep those eyes alive.
Exactly. Well, I kind of agree with him though. They just get in the way. I mean, they're just there. You know. I don't know.
But it's so hard because
I'd rather have...
like the higher up you are, the more money you get. Like at the end of the season, but since they need to make the most progress with the least amount of money, of course it's going to be hard as shit to ever get in touch. But once they do,
I think if
they manage to bridge the gap, then they'd be all right.
Right.
But you know, just to finally latch on to those to the midfield, that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, I think they should have said, you know what, if you can't afford Kurz, just fuck off. Get out of here. You're not allowed to race.
They probably could have, like, Marussia could have probably afforded Kurz, but they couldn't really properly put it in the car. So
exactly, I think
the car work
they
with
designed their, they designed their car before, you know, because you got to kind of build the whole car around the Kurz, from what I've heard, with the placement of the batteries and the system, and it's got to be perfectly centered in the car, or it throws off the balance.
And Marussia's also a team that like started off on the wrong foot by just working with the fluid dynamics or something in terms of aero development, which completely fucking backfired. And I think they're using the McLaren wind tunnels, and they're doing a lot better now. They were right up there with the Caterham near the end of it, and they didn't even have Kurz last year, and they will have this year.
Exactly. That was amazing. Yeah. Well, that was another actually point in the news. The boss of Caterham said he wants points to be extended throughout the whole field, so they don't run into something like that again in the last race. It's like they consistently outscored Marussia all season, and then they get to the last race, and if they get beat by them in the last race, all of a sudden they don't get 10th in the constructors, you know. So he's saying that they should trail points down all the way down. So it's like, I mean, what are you gonna do though? You get to 10, and then like 10 points would have to be worth like 20 points, and then every point below that like a single point. You know, it's like that's just dumb. I don't know.
We have to change the entire points system again. You're gonna start at car number 20 getting 1 point. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, exactly.
And
that's what he wants.
Does the winner get like 100 points or something by the end of it? Like,
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, the championship, it'll be 2,000 points. Ridiculous. I mean, I can understand, but you just can't do it.
He has a point, but it's not really feasible if you ask me.
It's not feasible. Yep.
Just turn this into
jinx.
Just makes it kind of ridiculous. But yeah. It's too bad it's so quiet. I mean, I'm eager to, like, after last season, that was like great again. Really put some fire back for me for F1. But like the quiet now kind of sucks. Like the window.
I know.
Give them some fun. Come on.
I know. I know, that's why I was actually torrenting like the different season reviews from like BBC coverage and whatnot.
Yeah. Just
because the coverage here in the States is awful. It's always been on Speed Channel, is what we have, and then this year just ended Speed Channel for us. Now it's going to ABC or NBC or one of them.
Yeah.
For the next seasons, but the coverage here is so awful. Like when I watch race commentary from BBC compared to ours, oh, it's so much better on the BBC.
Yeah, I'm the same here. Like the first wave, like a commercial network, RTL 7. These guys, they don't simple. They're not bad. They just don't have the budget, you know. And it shows. Like they have the advertisements in there during the race. Well, right, it happens, and they have to keep their head above it somehow. But the BBC, like, they have so many people running around everywhere, catching everything, and if you like watch the red button as well, it's just fucking awesome. Yeah, like if you don't have the budget, you simply can't do that.
Yeah, in the States, I mean, the thing is they're there, and the crew's there, but they don't show all the practice sessions. You know, they'll show, or they'll show the second one, and that's like it. But the first and third you have to watch online, but there's no commentary. They just show the cars going around the tracks. So it's like they're there, they're just showing the feed. But then, you know what's really awesome is I was seeing how I think in the UK or one of the cable providers there, they have that package you can buy where you can just watch like one driver's view of the whole race and shit. Like you can switch between different
Yeah,
cars
that's
and
Yeah.
on
watch it all.
Sky.
What's
That's
that
what
called?
I got.
What's that
Sky.
called? Oh, that's Sky. Man,
Yeah.
Actually, someone posted
I
an
wish they would
onboard
sell that
race of Brazil
independently.
on YouTube. That was an awesome watch.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I wish.
What
I
you can
wish they.
do. Yeah, what you can do with the Skybox as well is take the hard drive out of it, so you can record anything on the hard drive and then put it to your computer.
That's awesome. I just
Yeah,
wish Sky would package that and sell it separately. Like you don't have to have their cable service to be able to buy that. If they could sell that, because like in the U.S., there's no possible way for me to get that. It's impossible. Like we don't have Sky here in the States, and you have to have a cable subscription with them in order to be you know eligible for that package. So it kind of sucks.
So on those cameras, on the car cameras, you've got about 5 or 6 you can change to during the race, and they're normally the top 6 people, you know, who are leading the championship.
Right.
They've got the cameras on board, and they have all different sorts of cameras as well, like ones underneath the wing or right underneath the car, one showing from the back, and all stuff like that.
That's so
all
cool.
in HD as well.
I wish, yeah. I mean, it's like I'm almost tempted to pay somebody over in the UK or something to give me access to it or something. It's like, can you watch it? Is it just through your cable box you have to do all that, or do you use
No,
your
I can watch it on my computer as well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I can log in with my account details to any PC, tablet or phone. I can watch Formula 1 when you're fishing on the bank on your phone and that.
Right? That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want to pay somebody just to have access to it. Good times. We about done?
Has he fallen asleep?
I think he did. I think he passed out. Oh, he said he's AFK for a second. In the chat. So, I am your new host, Palindrome. Oh, God. Oh, I am so tired. I got a lot to do today. It's still Sunday morning for me, so...
I'm going to go back to bed,
shopping. I think. Lucky bastard.
Alright, sorry, I'm back.
I'm pretty tired.
Pick up the phone.
It's alright. No problem. I think we're about done.
Yes.
Not too much left.
Alright then.
Just us 3 in here.
Pretty much, yeah. So yeah, alright, this
It was good,
podcast
though.
number
Very
2.
Good.
Probably not like you said. No, I could like some
Shorthanded?
shorthanded. Well, it still worked. I was disappointed. Maybe you can always invite somebody else, maybe another time, if they're interested.
I'm thinking.
They can contact me.
I'm thinking we'll have a lot of commentary though, for after Monaco. But
that
I don't know
too,
if we want to do
and the podcast will be
next
more
week.
interesting once the testing and everything starts. We have more stuff to talk about, and of course, when the real season starts in Melbourne, it will be even more fun. With more things to talk about. So
Yes, sir.
I'll definitely keep this going. At least as far as you will ask me. It's fun. It's fun.
It's good chat.
Yeah.
Good chat. And now I just want to be able to upload the full video in one go on the on the channel. That would be great.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
going to render it in like 5 pieces again.
Oh, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, see, there should be a way to do it even if you don't have the option on by the phone. But I have to use my mobile phone and think for that. But I have to look into that. If I can do that.
So what is it? They just don't allow a big sound file or something?
No, it's just the length, the video length. There's a length cap.
Well,
on by
I mean,
default.
you can upload full races though.
Yeah,
Like 2 hour worth of.
Yeah,
video.
but you like for me, the ability to do like full long files is just basically because I upload so much. Probably I got it unlocked. Same thing for the miniatures, and I can do planned videos as well. And
You can do full videos though, full races, can't you?
Yeah, I can do it. I have no problems. But I'm uploading the podcast, of course, on the F1RT YouTube channel, which is very young compared to.
Okay.
I don't post them on my own channel.
Got you. Okay.
Because they don't really belong on my own channel. They belong on the F1RT channel.
Right. Gotcha. Okay.
So, and yeah, the F1RT channel does not have that option yet. So. Yep. Good fun. So to everybody who was watching this, we'll see you guys for the next podcast or for the next race. So,
yes, we will.
Bye, everybody.
Have fun, everybody.